Right guys, today we're going to be ranking every single Desert Eagle that's in Counter-Strike from worst to best. We're not going to waste any time at all, we're going to go right into it, so make sure you hit that like button if you enjoy it, hit the subscribe button if you're around here, and let's get going. Now, unfortunately for you modder enjoyers out there, it takes last place in number 36. It is just a very lackluster skin. There's not too much to say about it, so it's right at the bottom of the pile. Very similar sort of consensus for the bronze. This isn't a very good skin at all. If you want like a cheap Deagle, there's definitely a lot of better options out there, so right at the bottom of the list again. And then we have the Meteorite in 34th. Not a big fan of this skin. It doesn't really showcase much at all. Again, you can get much cheaper, much better skins than this. Surprisingly, in 33rd, I have the default skin. I think this actually looks better than the three we've just mentioned. And this is obviously CSGO we're looking at in Counter-Strike 2. It looks even better for the default one. Default one with stickers kind of slaps in Counter-Strike 2. And then following that, I've got the Urban Rubble. This is by no means a horrible skin. It's just compared to everything else, it falls a bit short. And this middle section, as much as I'm going to be speedrunning here, it's kind of just, you can go anywhere. So we have the Bronze Deco here in 31st. We then have the Blue Fly in 30th. And then we have the Pilot in 29th. Basically, everything up until, like, 20th on this list, I'm going to say from everything from 32nd up to 20th can be very mix and match, depending on the day and depending on personal opinion. I have the Heirloom coming in at 28th. Honestly, this is literally a default Deagle with this, I'm going to say, awful accents on it. I don't understand why people enjoy this skin. We've got the Night Heist one step ahead of this. I like the concept for this skin. I just don't really like how it's come out in the end of it. We have the Directive sneaking ahead of it. I think this one, to me, I don't know, it's got like Terminator vibes to it. That's kind of what I see in it, so that's why it gets through for me. Then we have the Naga in 25th. Now, honestly, this here is very similar to me to the Pilot and the Heirloom. The Heirloom, they're so similar, all three, with some distinct differences, but the Naga, for me, with the detailing, is definitely the best of the three. We then have the Sputnik coming in 24th. This one gets a bit ahead of the rest because it is a pattern-based skin, so depending on the pattern you go for, it can look a little bit better. Now, this one might come as a surprise, but Urban DD for me is a super underrated, like, budget Deagle skin. So it gets its way into 23rd, because I think this still looks really clean in game, basically in anything above minimal wear. We have the Corinthian then in 22nd. Now, we're getting close to being the halfway point on this. Corinthian is a clean skin. I think it definitely looks a little better in Counter-Strike 2, but right now, it's sort of in the middle of the pack. Now, I know this one will be a surprise. I've put the Blaze in 21st. This skin is super overpriced. I don't know what reason. I think it's just this sort of cult reaction to basically price fix it. Not worth the money at all. It's 21st. And another one that I can't really understand the price of is this Golden Koi. This looks very mediocre, so it's in 20th. I realize I've basically just put three of the most expensive, actually four of the most expensive skins back to back to back to back here. In 19th, I've got Hypnotic. This is used for trade-ups, right? I don't think this is a stellar skin. I think it's better than everything above it, hence why it's here. But this is nothing to write home about. Sorry, it was three back-to-back, knock four, because in between them, I've actually put the Oxide Blaze. This is a very cheap skin. It's in 18th. This, for me, is better than the Blaze. It's just cooler. It's got some little details on it, and it's not been price fixed. I think the fact that the Blaze has been price fixed so horribly for a mediocre skin is what puts me off it. I kind of like the Oxide Blaze. It's a good cheap option. We have the hand cannon slotting in above it. This one, I like the color on it. The design is not all there, but it's definitely cleaner and ahead of everything else. Speaking of clean designs, I've got the Knight coming in at 16. I think this past week or so I've had a real appreciation for how clean the Knight can look sometimes in certain inventories. You definitely kind of have to pair the gloves for it and like your inventory for it, but it can work really well. I then have one of my favorite budget options for the Deagle coming in at 15th with the Trigger Discipline. And then the light reel comes in at 14th. And honestly, if you're designing a Blaze, why spend like 700 quid on it when you can spend a couple quid and get a light reel for the exact same color scheme that looks better? Now, we are getting close to the top 10. I have the Crimson Web in 13th. It falls just a little bit short. It's mainly because of the wear the skin picks up. Like, it's a cool design, but it just wears so hot badly. Then in 12th place, I've got the Kamisho Dragon. I hope I pronounced that right. This skin, I was underrated for a while for me. I do actually like it now. I like the detail, and obviously I'm going to say it's similar to like the ultraviolet sort of thing where you get that purple and like accent on a key bit, and then it's kind of hidden when you hold it, but the detailing is nice. And then the final skin that couldn't quite crack the top 10 is going to be the Conspiracy. This looks incredible with certain sticker combos, and it's just clean in general. That blackout with the yellow accents. Basically, any gold or yellow stickers work really well on this if you're looking for a craft. Now, my first Deagle in the top 10. 10th place goes to the Mecha Industries. I think this is one of the best value for money Deagles out there. Same applies when you go to the famous for the Mecha Industries. It's not as clean as a print stream, but it looks very nice. I've opted for the Cobalt Disruption in 9th. Obviously, this doesn't look as incredible in Counter-Strike Go. In Counter-Strike 2, though, this looks much better, and that's partly why it's jumped from probably being a middle-of-the-pack skin into the top 10. It's just a bit of a shame I don't have CS2 to showcase it in that for you. 7th and 8th go for both Sunset Storms. Now, this is the second variant, I believe, if I can get a normal inspect on it here. I think the translations on it that you can see is basically meant to be like 1st edition and 2nd edition, I believe this is the 2nd edition. The only difference is it has the little man's face on it, on the handle. And then if we go to the other one, which I put above it in 7th, and I'm getting these rare animations so often. Come on, I want a normal animation. You can see it doesn't have the guy's face, and I think this is cleaner, which is why it gets in ahead. Now, keeping on our Storm theme and getting us to near the top 5, but not quite, we have the Midnight Storm. This skin is hella underrated. This is so clean. Unfortunately, you can't get it in StatTrack, but it looks really nice in game. I've had teammates using it recently, and it's super clean skin. I'm a really big fan of it. It's crazy underrated. And now we have the top 5, which if you watched my short a few weeks ago, you will know what my top 5 is, but not the order. So in 5th place, I have the Ocean Drive. This skin has such a good color pop. Like, honestly, you look at this compared to anything we've looked at in the last like 10 items. Actually, the whole thing so far, nothing's been crazy bright. This is crazy bright, really catches the eye. Lots of colors in it. Harder to pair into inventories, I'll say, but really nice. Then in 4th place, we have the Emerald Jorgamander. I don't know how to pronounce that without butchering it. You can read it above if you can actually read it. This is a really nice green skin. My only gripe for this is the little sort of blue accents in it aren't as perfect. I would prefer a full green Deagle, but I like the North style for it. Obviously, it's a bit more of an expensive Deagle as well. Obviously, expensive doesn't equal best. We've discussed this in the AWP and the AK videos. I really like this, and that's why it's in 4th place. In 3rd place, we have a Code Red. Again, you see, compared to like the Crimson Web, you actually get a bit of pop with this. It is a brightness skin as well, so you use the brightness, but you can buy it in Battle Scarred, and it still looks really clean. Now, that leaves 2 skins, and in 2nd place, I'm going to put the Fennec Fox. This is part of the Mirage collection. This, along with the Desert Hydra, are like the 2 sought-after skins from that Mirage collection. This Deagle looks incredible. Obviously, you get the fox on it, these lovely shades of like orange and the white and then the blue accents. It looks incredible, but it didn't get number 1. And if you place it, yes, you'll know what's the number 1. In 1st place, I have the Desert Eagle Print Stream. Another brightness skin. If you get this in anything for field test and above, it's absolutely beautiful. I think for me, this is definitely the best skin for the Deagle in Counter-Strike across the board. Looks great in Counter-Strike Go. I think it still looks great in Counter-Strike 2. I know there's a couple little tweaks need to be made. And yes, I've gone for probably like the cult favorite for number 1 this time, which may come as a little bit of surprise, but I do think this is without a doubt the best Desert Eagle in the game. If you've made it this far, please let me know in the comments down below what your top 3 Deagles would be. This is always very handy for me when figuring out giveaways, so please don't put all the expensive ones in. And outside of that, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to continue these ranking videos, so let me know which weapon you want to see next. Outside of that, make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button if you're around here, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.